Listen up, Eagles Nation. Major shakeups are hitting the NovaCare complex. We've officially parted ways with offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo following that tough wildcard exit. Who's the next play caller for Jalen Hurts? Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments what you thought of this news and where you're watching from. I want to know where our fan base is at. The Philadelphia Eagles are officially turning the page on a season that left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. After a campaign that started with high hopes but crashed and burned in a frustrating wildcard loss to the San Francisco 49ers, the organization has made the decisive move to part ways with offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo. This decision sends a clear message: mediocrity and stagnation are not acceptable in Philadelphia. The offense, which looked disjointed and predictable against the Niners' formidable defense, needed a fresh voice immediately. The inability to adjust in-game and the lack of explosive plays down the stretch ultimately cost Patullo his job. Now the front office is in overdrive, reportedly lining up interviews with over a dozen potential candidates. The list is extensive and features some very recognizable names from around the league. We are talking about heavy hitters like former Bears head coach Matt Nagy, current Colts consultant Jim Bob Cooter, and Giants offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. This isn't just a quick fix, it is a comprehensive search for an offensive architect. The organization is explicitly looking for someone who can revitalize the scheme and, crucially, unlock the full potential of Jalen Hurts. Bringing in candidates with ties to the Andy Reid tree, like Nagy and Kafka, signals a desire to re-inject creativity and complex RPO designs into the playbook. It is a crowded field, and the sheer volume of interviews indicates that Nick Sirianni is leaving no stone unturned. They are looking at outside veterans with play-calling experience and rising stars alike. This is arguably the most critical decision of the entire offseason. With the level of talent on this roster, particularly at the skill positions, the offensive output we witnessed in the playoffs was simply below the standard. The search is officially hot, and the caliber of coaches being linked to the job suggests the Eagles are desperate to get back to elite offensive production immediately.
Let's dig deeper into what this coaching carousel really means for our Philadelphia Eagles. First and foremost, this entire process revolves around one man, Jalen Hurts. The franchise has pushed all its chips to the center of the table on him, and the next offensive coordinator needs to be the guy who unlocks his MVP level again. We need a strategist who understands how to seamlessly blend a dominant run game with a lethal vertical passing attack, something that completely vanished during our collapse against the 49ers. Looking at the candidates, Matt Nagy is undoubtedly a polarizing name. I know his tenure in Chicago left a lot to be desired, but you cannot ignore his involvement in developing Patrick Mahomes alongside Andy Reid. If he can bring that specific brand of Chiefs-style ingenuity to South Philly, it could be exactly the spark we need. Mike Kafka is perhaps even more intriguing. We saw him squeeze production out of a limited Giants offense, so imagine what he could do with weapons like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. However, this search puts a massive, undeniable spotlight on head coach Nick Sirianni. Let's be real with each other, Eagles family. Sirianni is officially on notice. By firing Patullo, he is admitting that the previous offensive structure was broken. The next hire has to work immediately, or Sirianni himself might be the next one clearing out his office. We simply cannot afford a retooling year or a learning curve season. The Super Bowl window is wide open right now, but it won't stay open forever. The new OC needs to walk into the building on day one with a concrete plan to dismantle NFC East defenses. We need to stop being predictable. We need fresh concepts. Whoever lands this job is walking into a pressure cooker, but they are also inheriting a Ferrari. It's time to drive it like one.